Good morning, Ward of Worship. This is Lord Holland, your operations guru, and today we are bringing you a very special ship, Orkan. Now, what does Orkan look like to most of you folks? Well, first off, the ship basically looks like a lightning, and it basically is a lightning, but it's a better lightning in my opinion. So, what sets the Orkan apart? Well, of course, it is a premium ship without any military contributor flag and just a simple clan. You're going to get 5% to credits, 55% to ship XP, 65 to commander XP, and 100 to free XP. Okay, now let's look at her survivability and armor. So armor-wise, she basically doesn't have much armor. It's typical DD armor, 19 millimeters, and then the 13 millimeter superstructure. Okay, nothing special. Now with survivability and 13-point absolute perfect, beginning ships, skill points, preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability, expert, concealment, and adrenaline rush, and all that. She gets about 18,500 health. Respectable, but she has a lot of tools in her trick, and she's very strong. Even I love this ship. She's extremely competitive in ranked, randoms, operations, everywhere. I'm shocked this ship hasn't been removed or nerfed. So she does get standard 120 guns, 4.5 reload with a 4.5 base switch time, 9-second traverse speed at 180, 95 dispersion, max dispersion, 12-kilometer range, very respectable, very decent for her tier. 1750 for max HE damage, 9% of fire, 20 millimeter armor pin. Velocity 774. AP damage is, the AP is kind of meaty, is hard to use. You're going to have to be really close, as usual, like point blank to really make the AP work. But, again, same velocity as the HE shells with 2250 as her max AP damage. Again, you're not going to be really using the AP, at least in ops or randoms. It's mostly HE, so unless you want a suicide mission and you want to try something dumb, then use the AP, but mostly you're an HE spammer. Now, she does get unique torpedoes, so let's go to her torpedoes. She gets one set, but they have a 12-kilometer range, and they're 76 knots. Now, that can be increased if you wanted to run the torpedo modification one. I read aiming system since it is more of a gunboat. And so let's send this guy back to port send his guy to reserve. I'm going to bring out the one commander that I love to use. So let's go to him. Now, Jersey Sorsky is recommended to run on this ship. One, because of the enhanced adrenaline rush. Superintendent. And then if you have increased, reload speeds, let's say you have this skill. Fill the tubes. Reload goes down to 63 seconds, plus adrenaline rush, so that goes down even further. With the speed, you're doing 80 plus knots with the module and this captain skill. That is really fast for tier 8, and especially for ops. So these Torps, they're not weak by any chance. They're actually very powerful. Now, depth charges, 2 charges, 6 bombs and a depth charge, 40-second reload time, and 2,800 max damage. Again, they drop from the back, so you got to go over the DD to basically hit it, or the sub to hit it. AA, don't expect to be shooting anything down. You're not going to also hit anything. But I missed one thing in our artillery for you. She does get this one random secondary battery for some reason. They put a secondary battery on here besides otherwise in a Torp tube, and that does work, but don't expect to get any close quarters experts. Maneuverability wise, 3-second rudder shift, 35 knot speed, and that in the rudder shift is with the module. So it will go down if you have it, will go up if you don't have it, and will go down if you do have it. With the speed flag, she does 37 knots, so you're not gaining much as far as speed. So no point in running a flag. Concealment-wise, with a full build, 5.9, very respectable. Very respectable, very competitive. And honestly, you could more than likely kill a kid in this thing. I'll tell you why. You're close, they're same detection, but you get something, and you get a lot of the tools the kid doesn't. But you get your engine boost, you get 4 heals with Superintendent, and then you get this. Surveillance radar. 7.5 kilometers, 20-second action time without the module. You could slot the module if you wanted to be really competitive. That would probably take it to like 25 seconds. So, if you can catch a kid with its pants down, and you're in the division with another DD, kid's going back to port, because you're going to just DPM that thing down. And you get 4 charges on this thing with Superintendent, so it's very competitive. You can surprise destroyers. If you're a top tier in a tier 8 destroyer like this, you're going to bully the tier 6s around. You're going to think they're going to be safe in their smoke. You can run on up on them, hide radar them, and just melt them. And then when they try to react, they come back out, they try to run, you can just run them down and kill them. It's a very strong DD. Very strong. And we're going to show you some gameplay footage and show you how to make the best of it. Now, Orkan, I will say, is only good on some ops. So be aware of that. There are a few ops that she doesn't do good on most, but again, with that radar and everything, and the long-range torps, honestly, looking at it, there's very few ops she would be bad at. I mean, Hermes she could work. Ultimate Frontier she could work. Killer Whale. Narari. Raptor Rescue. There is, honestly, this is a ship that doesn't have really a bad op. I know I said that I thought there was a bad op, but there isn't a bad op for the ship. The toolbox this ship gets makes it an extremely powerful DD. It is so worth the money. It's one of the most expensive DDs in the premium shop, but it is worth it. Since it's a tier 8, if you want to run tier 8 and work on your Pan-Euro captain for like your main line, go for it. Now, if you wanted to train a captain for the new gunboat line coming out, you can make it work that too. I plan on doing that. Absolutely. Now, when Vallejo comes out and there comes tier 9 ops at some point, Vallejo, pick it up. Again, these ships are really strong, and especially this ship. Now, there is going to be a small sneak peek. Jerzy Sawerski and Bliskovica will be making an appearance in a very special future video. I have a special video in my planner to advertise this ship and multiple other ships. And I know just the date to put it on. Now, if you're a military historian, I think you know what date I'm talking about. But we'll see. I know I don't like to give away my plans, but I'm going to be releasing this video close to the date. So, no sneaky peekies. Only I'm going to know the real goal of this. So, let's get into the replay, shall we? Take care, captains. Hello, and welcome to Lord Holland's Orkan review replay. It's the Orkan time, folks. Now, Orkan is an amazing destroyer. I got this thing when they first did the Euro, when Jerzy Sawerski first came out, and you could get him through a campaign, and the Orkan could speed it up a little. I got that destroyer just because I didn't want to spend much time on it, and Orkan just sat on my port. Now, I used it a few times during the event, and I learned about one thing about this ship. You know, look at that hydro. That is 7.5 km hydro. And you've got about a 5 points. You have around kid detection. You've got stealth radar on this thing. And a heal. and an engine boost. This thing is extremely overpowered. It's a great toy to play with. Now, it's even better if you have Jersey Sawirsky on it. But I don't have Jersey Sawirsky. I have a gunboat build. And I really should. I usually do run Jersey Sawirsky, but I'm training this captain for the new Euro gunboat line that's coming out. This is a 14-point captain that I'm training up for that gunboat line specifically. So I'm preparing for that. So I have more invested in the gunboat skills. And you see, this is where I'm like, I use my stealth hydro. Or, no, I don't use the radar yet. I drop Torp, thinking, okay, I'm going to aim for the Fuso. And I go right for the DD. Now remember, this is basically almost like a lightning. The Orkan is basically a lightning pole. Now, you see those Torps? They were aimed at the Fuso. But look where they hit. Unlucky mistake. I delete the Aoba.
Cruiser foundered.
That's pretty lucky. And that was unintentional. Now, the Veneto gets an amazing salvo.
Concentrate fire on the
That was one salvo, ladies and gentlemen. That was a 30 to 40k salvo on the Fuso. Amazing job. That's one of the fastest, killing of these 3 ships that I've seen in a long time. I have not seen this kind of killing since Tier 6 ops. I've never seen, I'm shooting, because I'm like thinking, okay, if I shoot, I get detected. But I don't get detected. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be wasting shells. I'm going to try, because Cap and I do this, we always shoot to see if we can tell what's coming. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know. And then I type in chat. RPF. Does anyone have RPF? Fortunately, our dear friend Ellipse Delta, Ellipse 19 Delta 20 in the Harakazi does have RPF. I thought he would have RPF. Thankfully he doesn't. He says they're south, so great. And welcome. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna let him go south and deal with all that, because me and Cap, my friend, are in the Nolan and in an Orkan. We're gunboats. We're DD killers. We're gonna go do our job. We're gonna go kill the DDs. And then we're gonna move on to the CV. We're gonna take all those guys down. We're gonna take them all down. That's what we do. When we play DDs, we do this route. We take this route. One, it's easy damage, but it helps the team. And it also, is really nice. And a great thing to do, because it's fun, and I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels nice when you help the team. Now, I start shooting because, maybe he was wrong. Maybe the Arkazi was wrong, but I know he's right. I know he's right. I just wanted to see. And there's the RPF saying right where they would be. That is a wonderful skill to have on a DD in operations. Now, I'm aiming. Some people might shoot, but I wait. I hold my shot. My friend Cap gets a little trigger friendly and drops his torps all around it. Now I wait until I see the white line don't move anymore. I wait until I see it not move, and I hear his torps launch. I slam on my brake, and I just wait until I see it kind of line up and it's not really moving. Now, that takes a while. But then you see, it just kind of stops. Right there. It stops. That means that the Aoba's finally hit his final position where he's going to go straight. It's a very small detail. And yes, if you were a little bit, more technical, you can do it without doing that. But if you pay that close of attention, you can see it. And it's after this, then it's like, okay, I know my Torps are going on target. He's not getting away from me this time. That's another Aoba gone. Alright, so I only get 2 Torps. But then I decide, let's gun both this guy down. Let's gun him down. Take out a Torp tube. And I get lucky. My flood picks him up. And then my shooting also reveals everything else. 2 cruisers, 3 battleships, all south of me. Amazing detection. We know where they're all at now. We already know the route. We know the route they're going to take now. Now, I see him. I see the DD, and I'm watching those Torp tubes. I'm watching the Torp tubes. You see how they have a little red on them? That's the torpedo. I'm waiting for those torpedoes to not disappear. And I keep turning in. Because the Orkan has really great gun aims. And you see how I just kind of pick it up. And I turn my guns back to help Cap, because he's having a little bit of trouble. He's doing it, but... And I take that one. Yes, I could have gave Cap that one, but... that destroyer was detecting me, and you would do the same if you had 2 cruisers and a battleship shooting you. Wouldn't you do the same? Now, Cap's Torps are faster than mine. Orkan has 76 knot torpedoes. Now, if you have like Jersey Swirsky, that just gets a lot better. The reload goes down, and I can't remember, but I swear the speed goes up a tiny bit. Not much. But you can see our Torps are literally on the... And I'm loading AP. And I'm aiming for the upper flight deck. Trying to get some damage. Cap gets like 2 torpedoes, and my torpedoes finish it off.
Enemy aircraft carrier sunk.
And I take out those planes. So I get 4 plane kills. Cool.
Enemy battleship sighted.
Now usually if you're in a DD, I tell Cap, that's where we want to aim at. If you can get your DD into that gap area, and you have a decent loading DD, like with Jersey Swirsky on there, or like maybe a Laterbo, a Kid, a Lo Yang, any kind of great torpedo DD, even a Hints Yang. If you could get a Hints Yang in that spot,
Raptor, Task Force Commander here.
well, you're sitting on a gold mine of damage.
Copy. This is Raptor. Roger. Adjusting course.
And our Harakazi and the Harlem and those guys down south are, they're working on the CV. They're working on the CV. CV's like really low. You can see he's really low already. You can see his health down there. And they're just kind of slowly working on it. So the Harakazi's just doing what he can. He's just... And the Harakazi picks up the CV. Kudos to Ellipse 1920. Great job. Now it's like, I like tell Cap, we're going south. And as you can tell by the gun arcs on these shells, they're not super floaty. They're actually pretty easy to aim. I'm not even hardly aiming that far, and I'm still getting like little chunk damages, still decent damage. And it's like, okay, now they're starting to shoot at me, and I drop Torps. Cap drops Torps on the Amagi. And of course, the Torp spread, they're going to spread out, so they're going to hit all those Ds. I dropped mine too. But I'm just like throttling my ship back and forth, just Lottie, lottie, lottie. I'm not really worried. And then, I think it was after this one that I did kind of get worried. I get a fire on the Fuso. Great. Fire on the Fuso. Great, now I just gotta burn him. Now that Amagi's got a flood on him. You can tell by the little spike coming out of his face. And I get... And there, Fuso, now the Congo has a flood on him, so I can now get some more damage on him. Cap picks up the Amagi, great. It's just amazing teamwork. Alright, amazing teamwork. Just lobbing the fire down. I mean, these guys are not going to get nowhere near the, the CV.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Cap gets some more torps. Venetto's doing a really good job.
Engine boost deactivated.
Kind of keeping his guns in. He's keeping angled. He's bouncing those shells. I get a fire. Now look at all that fire just going on him. That guy's going down. He's going down. Now the Dallas picks it up. It's okay. Now, most people would say, okay, the op's over. The op would be over. No. There are 2 more enemy ships on this map that spawned at around 5:30. If the evac is in J1, they usually spawn on the island near G1. If it's where it is right now, they spawn on the islands of H2 and H3. If it's north, or if it's in the same spot but the ships come from the north, it's literally on those islands. Is they see where the island is at C2, but it's like 2.5. 2 cruisers appear right in that area. And yeah, once you learn these times and the spawn times, you can put your ship down. And I tell Cap to basically put his ship kind of right in there, where I know it'll be. And yeah. Now, I didn't actually know the spawn time. I actually forgot about the spawn time. That I actually learned this on the fly. That I was like, I know where they are, but I don't really remember the spawn time. But then I looked at it around when they spawn, and I was like, okay, that's when they're coming. That's when they're coming. Okay, great. And you can see the Venetto's doing the exact same. He's coming down to help. And of course, I pop my engine boost so I can maneuver back and forth to get in that optimal position. To get in that sweet optimal position to take it out. Torps are all loaded. Now it's just a waiting game. And I decide, well, the Venetto's going to come down. He may take some of my damage. So I'm going to speed it up a bit. I'm going to kind of get as close as I can. But I have to keep in mind, remember, of the arming distance. So I keep that in mind, and I just kind of fiddle the throttle back and forth. Just kind of moving the ship forward just every so slightly. But making sure that I have enough torp range to have them armed. And then I go forward, and then I slam it forward now. Slam it forward because it's coming in about 8 seconds. Right now, yep. 5:35. Venetto gets a nice hit. Takes about half the health out. Which kind of sucks, because I really wanted that damage. But you see Cap with it? Knocks it out. Knocks his out. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And our Venetto's like, well done. He knew what we're doing.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah, he took some of my damage, but honestly, I'm not mad at the Venetto. As someone that's ground that ship, I don't know if he's grinding it or is playing it for fun. But I know how painful that ship can be. And if you're grinding a painful ship and I see you in ops and you take a decent amount of my damage, I'm not going to be mad, because if it's a painful ship, I'm not going to be mad, because I will actually pity you and be like, I am so sorry you're running that ship. At this point, it's just wait for the Raptor. 7 kills and 154,000. It's not a bad Orkan match. If you can strive for that, around 100k to about 150k in an Orkan, you consider yourself a really good Orkan player. Orkan is a super fun DD to use. It is so easy to use. It's one of the best DDs I think out there for your money. It's a little more expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Really great ship.